Mrs. Casey, you've been married to the defendant for less than a year. Due to your husband's trust issues, you're worried you won't make it to your 1-year anniversary if you don't prove he is the biological father of your son, Jacob Hatfill. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hatfill, you say sleeping with the babysitter landed you in a marriage with someone you don't trust. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hatfill, did you have a good relationship before the marriage?
Yeah.
Did you have trust issues then?
Right about the time that we were finding out that she was pregnant.
That's supposed to be a happy time. What happened?
She hadn't told me she'd quit taking her birth control or anything yet. We were talking about planning for the future and a possible children in the future, not immediately at that moment.
So you have trust issues?
Yes.
But at one time, this relationship was a happy one.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Casey, take me back to that time.
I had started babysitting for his family. I saw him, thinking he was a cute guy. And we started chit-chatting, and he had said they had told me the rules. It was, no running in and out of the house because it was hot that day, the air conditioner was on. Make sure the kids don't go in and out of the house, and no sleeping with the babysitter on duty.
Really?
I thought it was love at first sight.
And so you instantly fell for him?
Yes. I've been the side lady, and now I'm the main one. We're married, and I want this to be a happily ever after with my little family.
And so, Mr. Hatfill, you slept with the babysitter. Broke the
Eventually.
rules.
But it was after hours. It wasn't during the time of being babysitting or anything like that.
It wasn't?
No. And me and Andrew proceeded to talk from that moment on.
So you started dating?
Yes.
How did you get to a place where you thought she actually had slept with someone and Jacob may not be your biological son?
By coming across text messages in her phone.
Oh.
I have.
You've brought some to court?
Brought some to
Jerome,
court.
may I see that evidence, please? Thank you.
You're welcome. They would be to Miss Casey from somebody she was with prior to me.
And so these text messages read, "Are you up? What are you doing? I just got off. Can I come by?" They're all questions with no responses. At the time, she's your wife?
Before.
And right before she got pregnant.
This was right after she was pregnant.
Okay, what it signaled to you was, if this was going on right after she got pregnant, was it going on right before?
Exactly.
Miss Casey, you remember these text messages? You recognize them?
Sort of, kind of, yes.
So who could it be, sort of, kind of?
This guy had messaged me, asked me to be his mistress whenever he got married. I had told him flat out no.
When did that start?
It had happened after we had gotten pregnant. He was messaging me, asking me to hook up. I kept telling him no. I kept telling Mr. Hatfill about these messages.
Was she honest, Mr. Hatfill, about the fact that this ex was reaching out, asking her to be his mistress?
After it was brought up to me, yes, she was honest, but I still felt like there was a missing side of the conversation.
And this was a guy she was intimate with in the past, am I correct?
Yes.
When he sent these text messages, you did not respond.
Correct.
And so, Mr. Hatfill, do you believe she did not respond?
No. I was currently staying at her parents' house, and I was sitting in the garage with one of her family members when the guy in question had come in the back door and knocked on our bedroom door.
He was looking for the family member.
I felt like he was looking for Miss Casey because the supposed person he was looking for was sitting in the garage with me.
Oh.
When the door come open and he realized I was sitting in the garage is when he spun around, grabbed the supposed person he was looking for and his current girlfriend and turned around and left. He also had made an appearance later on that evening when he had brought them back, knocking on the door while me and her were lying down in bed at about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
What?
So that tells me that there's something more than just these mysterious text messages.
Miss Casey, who in their right mind knocks on somebody's door at 12:31 in the morning, period, much less a woman they used to sleep with, unless they're interested in sleeping with her again and looking for her?
He was looking to take my family member's girlfriend at the time home.
Not at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning when he come by, it was your name he was saying.
I didn't hear that.
Wait a minute.
I was asleep.
You said when he was knocking on the door, he was saying Miss Casey's name?
Yes.
But you're not pulling the part to where you cheated and you had other girls messaging you while I was still in bed with you. We were sleeping.
Right.
We were supposed to be sleeping, and you
You're
were
right.
sending nude pictures to another girl.
I haven't said any of that because all this doubt that's here that's
so
caused
I
a
was
problem in our
doubted before
relationship
we even
is the whole
conceived
reason
Jacob. We were
that
still in
I even
Camargo
went
whenever
stepped out
you were
then.
still sending naked pictures to other females, and females were sending the same pictures to you.
Now we get into the meat of this, okay? Because I couldn't understand how a perfectly happy couple, it was love at first sight, don't sleep with the babysitter, but I did, but it worked out, and we so happy, and then all of a sudden, change the channel, and we got trust issues out the wazoo. So let's be honest, and that's why we're here. Mrs. Casey, did you have revenge sex with this man to get back at him because you thought he was having sex with his ex?
No. I've never once cheated on him in the 3 years.
So why is it when we saw those text messages, we don't see a text that comes after that that goes, stop texting me, I'm married?
Because he had blocked me on Facebook. I had blocked him, he blocked me.
How you gonna block somebody and you're waiting for them to respond to see if you can come over and have sex with them? That doesn't even make good sense.
Because his girlfriend had found the messages.
So she was looking at him, and then at that point, he realized it and blocked it.
Yes.
This is so messy. You're saying Jacob doesn't look like you?
No, he don't.
He does. I'm fair-skinned. It doesn't have to be the dad's. He doesn't have to be, like, if you would look at
What
no,
color
no,
hair does this other guy have, since you say
Brown
it doesn't
hair.
look like you?
When he was younger, it was sandy, strawberry blonde. Now it's a little bit more brown during more time he spends in the sun. Now, my father and me share dark hair, dark complexion, all the way through. I passed those genes down on into my oldest son, and he looks exactly like me, exactly like my father.
But it doesn't matter because he could have both sides of the family. He could be a strawberry blonde and blue eyes.
I want him to be my child. I signed the birth certificate. I was there when he was born. I'm not denying him one bit. The reason why we're here
Your
today...
family's bringing this up. There's text messages from your family saying, oh, you might as well go find Jacob's dad because you're not him.
Was that a conversation between me and them? No, it wasn't. That was
It
a conversation
was, though.
between you and them.
But they're denying him that he's yours. You've denied him when he was 2 weeks old that he was not yours.
So,
2 weeks old.
Miss Casey, after you had the baby, just 2 weeks later, he started to deny?
Yes, because he came out with the blonde hair and blue eyes.
And you're also receiving pressure and texts from his family
Yes.
indicating that they don't
It
believe.
makes me feel like I'm just a tramp or whatever, that I just, open my legs for anybody. I don't. I've been faithful to this man for 3 years. I want my family to be whole. I don't want it to be broken up.
I understand.
I hope I'm wrong
Well,
with
you
all
are
this.
doubting him.
I have doubts in everything to do with it. I need to be sure so I know how to take care of this boy.
And these doubts started to occur during her pregnancy.
Yes.
Yes.
And so throughout the pregnancy, you had doubts.
Once I started having doubts, it came to a point to where a month or two later, I basically broke it off with her. I stepped away from the relationship. I sent her
But
back
he
to
never
her mom and
fully
dad.
told me we were
Yes,
split up.
I did.
He told me he loved me and we were still together. He couldn't wait to see me and everything else. So we weren't fully, he would come to see me.
I would, because you were pregnant.
But you told me
and
you
I was
loved me.
hoping-
We still
And I do
we
love
still
you.
had
I did
sexual
love you then.
contact when you were with another female, though.
Just because I
Still
was staying there
sexual
don't mean I
contact.
was sleeping with her at the time. That was a
But
place
she
to
said
stay.
that you guys were, and you were still sleeping in the same bed with her.
And again, so
This
did
is
so
during
did-
the
so did guy-
marriage?
so did
No,
the guy,
this was during whenever I was first pregnant.
So did the guy that these text messages and everything else were from. He said he was sleeping
No,
with you
I've told
during
you
the
that
time.
millions of times. I've never once cheated. I've been faithful to you for 3 years.
Mr. Hatfill, you said there's also medical reasons why you believe you are not Jacob's biological father.
Jacob has one kidney. He's had to have surgery. He has to see a urologist every 6 months to once a year now. I've been there every step of the way from birth to now with the boy.
And
do
I can
everything
see
I
that
can
makes you
for him.
emotional when you talk
And
about him.
I just want to be able to take care of him the best as possible and get everything between me and her better, because to take care of him and his brother the best that we cannot have this back and forth. It's bad for the kids. It teaches them bad habits. It gets them yelling and screaming at people, and then they feel the tension and they don't want to mind or listen. We got to get this under wraps now before it gets any further out of control, or we're going to have to step back from each other. I just want to know what we need to know for Jacob.
And I know it hurts you. I can see that. You bring this baby, you help bring this child into the world. You say you've been with them every step of the way.
Every step of the way. I missed one sonogram. During the time of all this, the doubt and everything taking place, I was getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd be at work by 6 after an hour drive. I'd work 10 to 15 hours a day and then come back home, and then this is what I get.
And you believe, Mr. Hatfill, that this is further proof that you are not Jacob's biological father. Explain to the court why you believe that.
I don't know anybody in my immediate family, let alone in my family tree, that has any of the same issues.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's hereditary. The doctor said it can't be hereditary. It could, but then it could not.
Doctor also said that it's more likely hereditary on one side or the other if it does not fall with the Down syndrome gene, and Jacob clearly does not.
We have an expert here because I am very interested in hearing more about birth defects or this particular issue of being born with one kidney and how that potentially relates to paternity. So the court would like to call Dr. Tasha Rogers to the courtroom. Jerome, will you please escort her in?
Sure. Have you go up to witness stand next to the judge.
Okay.
Watch your step going up.
Okay.
Hi, doctor.
How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here discussing paternity of a beautiful little 12-month-old boy, Jacob. He was born with a medical issue, having one kidney.
Okay.
And our potential dad, Mr. Hatfill, he's confused as to whether or not this is hereditary. First thing I want to ask you is what's the difference between birth defects and genetic defects?
Okay. A birth defect is a random error of conception that has no genetic basis at all. A genetic defect is when the chromosomes of mom and dad come together and something happens.
Understood. And so if a child is born with one kidney, could this defect be considered hereditary? And if yes, what's the likelihood that it's inherited?
Okay. When we talk about having one kidney or renal agenesis, it is what we call multifactorial, meaning it is multiple reasons, and we're not exactly sure why. It can be environmental. Is mom on a medication? Has she been exposed to some toxins? Lifestyle, obesity, drug use, alcohol use, or very rarely is it genetic, and that's if there's a mutation. So even if it is genetic, dad could simply be, or mom could simply be a carrier, meaning they could have both kidneys, but just carry the gene.
And here, I believe Mr. Hatfill testified that Jacob does not have any such mutation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so given that fact, how does this relate to the possibility that this could affect his doubt concerning his paternity?
The genetics of it is minimal. We give minimal weight to genetics in it. So it's no way of saying that he's his or not based on that.
So the fact that he really has had these sleepless nights thinking, this child was born with one kidney, I wasn't born with one kidney, no one in my family, that really has no true basis.
None.
And yet if somehow they miss this mutation, then it could possibly be a genetic issue?
It could be, yes.
All right. So the question is, will this marriage survive
I hope.
if he is not your biological child?
There's going to be a serious step back in the marriage.
Because this foundation is feeling very faulty right now.
That's the way it's felt to me for a long time.
I mean, even the energy between the two of you standing before me, you would have to tell me you married. No, I would not know. The stakes are very high today.
Yes, they are.
But I'm very thankful that we have answers for you. Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
There you go.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Casey versus Hatfill, when it comes to 1-year-old Jacob Hatfill, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Hatfill, you are the father.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm relieved, to tell you the truth. You know, you all know I don't know these results, okay? I was like, Lord, come on. But really,
It's
I mean,
my birthday.
It is? Well, what a blessing. Really, truly. What a blessing. And I can see it meant something to you. I could almost feel your breath stop as I was reading the results. And then when I read it, I could hear that sigh of relief. And it's a beautiful thing to get the truth. And I'm happy for you both. Because at the end of the day, the genesis of this was something beautiful. And then we let trust issues affect the foundation of this family. And ultimately, it affected the way in which we view this beautiful, innocent child. And I can see that affects you because you knew it was affecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Moore, you say there is only one reason the defendant, Mr. Butler, has doubts he fathered your 1-year-old daughter, and that's because of his manipulating wife.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Butler, you argue you've been told on multiple occasions by the plaintiff herself that you are not her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You state that Ms. Moore has fabricated paternity claims in an effort to win you back. Ms. Moore, has Mr. Butler been involved in your child's life in any way?
If you're talking about diapers and wipes, that's it. That's not a father to me at all, period.
Only diapers and wipes?
That's it.
All right, so look, let's talk about why we're here. Mr. Butler, you obviously have doubts.
Yes, Your Honor.
What are those doubts?
She told me I'm not the baby daddy.
So she told you that?
One time was because he was harassing me, him and his so-called quote-unquote wife.
So you admit, Ms. Moore, you told him you're not the child's father?
One time.
What happened? How did that conversation happen?
It's happened because she told me I'm not the dad. She told me I'm not the father.
Why would she tell you that?
The baby don't even look like me.
Now, your wife is jumping out of her chair. I guess she knows the story better than you do. Which
She always
most
got something
wives
to say.
do, huh?
She always got something to say.
Come on in here. Miss Harrison, it is. Your husband says he was told by Ms. Moore he was not the father of the child.
Your Honor, on numerous times.
One time.
Numerous times.
One time.
That's a lie.
Harassment.
Really harassment?
Harassment.
I ain't never
You
harassed
and your
you a day.
so-called husband.
Whatever.
That part.
Your Honor, I
That
was
part.
getting my hair
That
done.
part.
I was getting my hair done at one particular time when she was on the phone. He had her on speaker. And she told him, you're not the dad. You don't have to do nothing for this baby.
Harassment. You're
Yeah.
right.
You heard it
You're
yourself.
right.
I heard it
Firsthand.
myself. Not only
She did
that,
hear
these
it.
texts right here.
She
Your
did
Honor.
hear
What is
it.
it? Jerome, will you pass me that evidence, please?
She said her and her husband does a good job of taking
Fiance,
care.
and he do.
No,
and
that's,
he do.
that's a text
and he
that
do.
was sent
and he do.
to me.
He has been a much better father than Quincy.
So
Trust that.
this evidence that's been presented says from Miss Carter, my husband do a good job keeping me and
His
baby
Exactly,
good.
because he stepped up. He stepped up, and my daughter is going to call him dad. He stepped up. Quincy's not around. Quincy never been around.
So,
He never been around.
Miss Harrison, you're saying this evidence, this text proves you believe it's her husband's child?
I believe, personally, Your Honor, it doesn't. To me, I believe that the conception dates are all wrong, because how can you tell somebody they pregnant in December, but you have the baby in July?
Excuse me, correction. I was 7.5 weeks, December 11th.
Okay, but you would not have had your baby. You would have not have had your baby.
But did I
in
have
July.
sex with you?
No.
Did I have sex with you?
No, you
You're
didn't.
not a man. You're not a man. You're not a man. I
You
had
had
sex
sex
with
with
you.
him,
And you
but
know
I've been
damn well
messing
that's
with
your
him for
baby,
almost
period,
2
point
years.
blank. Do
Ladies.
you believe it? You married it. You tell me.
Miss Moore, Miss Harrison. It's classic, right, Jerome? It's always two women going at it over some silent, nothing to say man.
Back and forth.
But it wouldn't even be
Now
me and her going at it.
listen. What we're gonna do here today is get down to the bottom. We're gonna figure out
Thank
how
you.
we got
do.
here.
Thank you.
We're gonna
Please
get the
do.
truth, and we're gonna figure out where we go
Thank
from
you.
here.
Thank you.
But what we aren't gonna do as ladies is degrade ourselves, act a fool up in here,
All she gotta
and
do
we're
is
not
leave
gonna
it
be
alone.
disrespectful and use disrespectful language, all right? I want to understand the story. So listen, let's now talk about why we have the doubt, because that's why we're here. Ms. Harrison, you say the conception dates don't add up. Now, please explain to the court why you believe that's true.
Because if you told him in December that you were pregnant, your baby would have been born in September, because my daughter is September 22nd.
And so
She needs to learn her math. Go back to school.
And
That's
so
what
hold
you
on,
need to
Ms.
do.
Moore.
Go back
Ms.
to
Moore,
school.
Really?
Moore, explain to me, why is she wrong?
Because when I got pregnant, I had left. Quincy was doing so much cheating. I found his last 2 babies and my baby and his last baby is 2 weeks apart. I found that out. I found that out on his cell phone, and I found it out because he had his last girlfriend's EBT card. The baby looked just like Quincy. Now, if she can't do the math, that's her problem. She needs to sit down. December 11th, the doctor told me I was 7.5 weeks.
So that means November.
November then?
And the baby was born
July.
July?
July 26th.
26th.
I had 2 dates, July 26th or August 5th. I had an
Okay, so a
emergency
week-
C-section on July 26th. Was Quincy anywhere to be around?
No.
No.
You didn't tell me.
When he came with bags. When Quincy always come with bags. That's
You
just
tell
like
me.
the beginning of this month. Quincy came with bags.
When you
thinking
say
was
he
about
came
to
with
stay.
bags, what does that
Yes.
mean?
When Quincy come with bags, he thinks he's about to stay. He's a leech. He is a leech. And his so-called wife told me that over the phone. It's always, if I call Quincy, it's always her. Her.
Because
And I
I'm
feel
his
like
wife and
I
it's
don't
one,
care.
one, one,
But
one.
that doesn't make sense though. I'm his baby mother and I have to talk to him, not you. I didn't make no baby with you.
It don't matter.
And I
He's
keep
married to
saying
me.
that. And I keep
And the
saying
money
that.
comes from
and I
me.
keep saying, okay,
So
so
at
can
the
I
end
get
of
you
the
for
day-
child support then? Since he on SSI, can I get you for child support then?
Whatever you want to do, baby,
Exactly,
go for
and
it.
I'm finna do it.
Okay,
and
go
I'm finna
for
do
it.
it.
Thank
and
you.
I need that.
When you first found out you were pregnant, Miss Moore,
Correct.
did you tell Mr. Butler? Did he
No.
accept
No,
the
no.
fact?
No, I didn't tell him.
You didn't?
My mother told
Mother
him.
told me.
Okay,
Not her
I want
mother
to talk
did.
to your mother.
I
Ma'am,
said
please
that.
stand. Please state your name for the court.
Katrina got her.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, you told Mr. Butler that your daughter was pregnant.
I called him and I said, you know, my daughter is pregnant. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, she's pregnant. And he says, well, I'm gonna be there for her. I'm gonna take care of her. I'm gonna take care of the baby. All of a sudden,
No, Your Honor.
there is no Quincy in sight no more.
Mr. Butler, do you remember having this conversation with
No, I
Miss?
didn't. No,
You
I
never
don't.
did?
No.
So, what facts, evidence, knowledge do you have that Ms. Moore was sleeping with anybody else but you at the time?
Another dude. That's all I can say.
Who is the other guy?
Another dude.
While me and Mr. Butler was in the midst of our relationship,
I wish
One of his-
somebody would get to the answer to my question.
one of his friends called him and told him that that she had
They
another
have
man.
no evidence.
All right. So
My
once
daughter
this
don't
friend
cheat.
told you she was sleeping with somebody else, you thought what? This baby might not be mine?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Moore, let me ask you something. You say the birth was very difficult. Tell me what happened that day.
When I went into labor, I actually went into labor. I started having labor pains on the 25th. On the 26th, my blood pressure went sky high. When my blood pressure went sky high, my doctor came in and told me that my baby heart rate was going down. So as it was going down, she was getting less oxygen. So they had to get her out. And when they got her out, I did not see my baby. I went to an emergency C-section. When I got out of recovery for 45 minutes, I touched my baby and signed my baby off to Pomona Valley Hospital, which is the city that he stays in. He's right. I did not tell him where my baby was. I know how mental he is. And I feel like I don't want that around my child. So when you go see her, I want to be there with you. When I got out the hospital, I called Mr. Butler. He do not answer his phone. I call him again. He do not answer his phone. I'm not finna keep on calling you. I'm not finna keep calling you. That's what I'm not about
Your
to
Honor,
do.
that's a lie, Your Honor. She ain't never called me.
Yes, she
She
did.
ain't never called me and told me that my daughter was at Pomona Valley
My
Hospital.
daughter now.
She never told me that, Your Honor. So at the end of the day, I don't know who baby it is.
The reason there's another doubt is this picture.
Jerome, will you pass me that evidence, please?
Oh, that's me and my fiance. Like I told you,
Okay.
he stepped up.
This is the
He
same
stepped
man
up.
that
Went
she
to every
thinks
doctor's appointment.
that looks just like
Went
him.
to every doctor. No, you a lie on that
They
one.
look just
My
alike.
fiance is way finer than him, so
And
knock
then,
that off.
Not only that, Your Honor, the other reason is the baby doesn't carry his last name. Doesn't carry the last name. She's never shown him the birth certificate.
So your concern is that there may be another man listed on the birth certificate.
No.
Because you've never seen.
I have evidence right here.
I never seen that birth certificate the day of my life.
Right
I
here.
asked her about it.
Here you go.
Day of my life, I never.
Jerome,
This is the birth
hand me that.
certificate. It's me and me only. I was the only one there besides my mother. If she could have been listed, I would have listed her as the father.
Yes, no father listed.
My daughter has
Name of
my last
father,
name.
blank. After Za'Marah is here, at some point you do reconnect.
Yes, after he made a hospital visit, after my baby had left, then yes, when she turned 2 months, because there was so many doctor's appointments, including while I was pregnant, I was seeing 3 doctors at the same time. And he knows that. He knows that.
I
So
don't know
after
nothing about that, Your Honor.
You were
Nothing.
there at 1 or 2 of them?
Nothing. Nothing.
You was
I
there.
never went to none of them doctor's appointments.
Wow.
None of them.
Wow.
You've never been to a doctor's appointment?
Probably one of them. That's about it. That's about it. One of them, Your Honor. One of them. All the rest, I never went to none of them.
You wasn't around. You choose not to be around. That's your baby. I don't see why you don't see it.
She do not look like her.
Okay. Okay. Well, you don't have to step up. I'm already here. Don't even worry about that.
So, at the point you do reconnect him with the child,
I go to his auntie house, who he was living with at the time in Pomona. I go over there. I take my baby to see him when my baby is 2 months. They taking pictures. This my last dime. This my last baby. I want to be with you. Taking her downstairs to see his friends. His auntie say, well, the baby look just like you. This is the first auntie that said my baby looked just like him. Recently, he sent his other auntie, which is his mama's sister, to Victorville as a DNA test. I don't know how, she didn't swab or nothing. I guess it's just eye vision. She come up there and say, well, I gotta tell you this, taking pictures of my baby and all of that. I gotta tell you this, your daughter looks more like Mr. Butler than any of his other kids.
now,
Tell the truth for
this
one time.
other gentleman that I saw in the evidence you submitted, this is the man you believe is Za'Marah's father?
Might be.
I wish so, Your Honor. I pray to God and I wish that I would have messed with my fiance around the time I got pregnant. I wish. He has stepped up in so many ways that Quincy have never been. That never
'Cause they
been.
keep me
so
away
as far
from that.
as far
Keep me away
as
from
my
that
daughter calling my fiance dad, I'm going to grant it.
How we keep you away? You was
I'm
just
going to
at the
grant it.
house 2 weeks ago.
So he was supposed to be there to live.
The single point I'm trying to understand is it true that you decided you'd maybe go and stay at Ms. Moore's house with Za'Marah? Were you gonna go over there?
Tell the truth. You're on dog.
Yeah.
So you did, and you thought, and was it because you felt like this was your daughter?
Yes, I did.
You did. Okay. So it's almost like you've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yes, I do.
That's because it's being tugged on.
I'm playing tug of war, and I'm tired of playing tug of war. If it's come back to be my daughter, I want to see my daughter today, because probably when I leave here, I'm not going to never see her.
And what is it? You feel like Ms. Moore wanted to be with you, and since that didn't work out, Za'Marah's her way of getting back at you?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in tug of war because I felt like she's using up Mike Za'Marah as a pawn tool to get back with me, because truthfully, she's unfit, and she's she using me as a bait tool. Like she's wanting my money, all type of stuff, Your Honor.
So you feel like she's trying to use you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, look, we're in court. I have to be honest. This conversation you're having right now, is this something you truly independently feel?
Yes,
or are
ma'am.
these things that you talk about with your wife? Because you're in a difficult position. You may have a baby with one woman and you're married to another woman, and they obviously don't get along.
They ain't gonna never get a.
So, are these things that you feel like, is your wife kind of egging these thoughts on, or are these your independent thoughts?
My own thoughts.
So now my last question is, if these thoughts are true, when you get into an altercation with your wife, why do you run to Miss Moore's house?
I don't. Well, I do get in an altercation with my wife, and I runs over here to see if this is my baby or not. A year and a half, it's been a tug of war with this baby.
All right. Well, I think there's only one way to get to the results.
Please.
It's to have the envelope.
Get it over and done.
Thank you, Jerome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Moore v. Butler, when it comes to 1-year-old Za'Marah Moore, and as to whether her biological father is Mr. Butler, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Butler,
Yes, ma'am.
you are her father.
Now, look at her.
Do what you gotta do.
I'm done.
Do what you gotta do.
Thank you. You completed everything today.
You're very welcome, sir. All right, based upon the papers submitted to the court, I can say I have never seen a case like this. Mr. Nicholas, you have brought your wife to court today.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim you cannot be the father of 4-year-old Naomi or 1-year-old Nathaniel because your wife is a habitual cheater and she cannot be trusted. You say you have shocking evidence of your wife's outrageous sexual infidelity, including encounters with strangers in public places and affairs with your co-workers. Mrs. Nicholas, you actually admit that you've made some mistakes in your marriage, but you claim you have now turned your life around and you are a church-going woman who deserves another chance. You state that once these DNA tests prove Mr. Nicholas is the father of all of your children, you are hoping to repair your marriage. Mr. Nicholas,
Yes, ma'am.
feel free to
All right.
enlighten the court.
Let me tell you this first of all. You know, the sushi spot I used to work at, is a hot silk. People come in and out. Some guy comes up to me and tells me straight up to my face that my wife is performing oral sex in the bathroom.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're at work
Yeah.
at the sushi restaurant.
Yes, ma'am.
And a guy just
Yeah.
comes up to you.
And tells me that she's performing oral sex in the bathroom.
hold up, rewind.
During your shift.
Yeah, during my shift while I was working.
Okay, and then you did what?
I continued working. What am I supposed to do? I couldn't leave my job.
And so were you ever able to prove or disprove that this really happened?
No, ma'am. That's the problem. I couldn't, it's allegations coming from other people. You know, I
Okay,
can't.
so that's hearsay. We never got any proof on that.
Hold on. First of all, why would I bring a guy to a girl's bathroom? It's the mall.
Come on now. You have so many stories about yourself.
I
The
messed
pizza
up in the
joint.
past. That was
Yeah.
the past. We're in
Yeah,
high
but
school that time.
You got a high school reputation. Come on.
I know I have a lot of boyfriends and all that and messing
What
around.
about all the stories that other people are telling me? Like Great America.
I didn't do nothing with
Okay.
him. I just kissed him. It's my old.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but please tell me that story.
What, Great America?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in high school. You know, we're high school sweethearts. We've been together for a while. And then, she comes up and tells me straight to my face that she made out with somebody.
I just am telling you
That
the
was the very
truth.
first time she cheated on me.
That was the first time.
Yeah, that's when we're in high school.
That was the past. We're in
Yeah,
high
but you
school
got
that
to-
time.
But what about all the stories that other people are telling me? Come on now.
All right, so tell us these stories you're talking about, Mr.
The
Nicholas.
Transformer rides. Okay, let me get that straight down. She went into the Transformer rides with my 7-year-old daughter. Okay, I'll tell you that straight up. I sat down because my 1-year-old son and my 4-year-old daughter can't go on a ride. All right, so I had to watch them. And then after the show was done, some lady comes up, tells me straight to my face that my wife was having sex in the ride.
Having sex, right? First of all, why would I have sex while my daughter was in the ride with me? And the chair moves. Come on. I'm not that dumb.
Yeah, let me get my point straight. Then why did my 7-year-old daughter come tell me straight to my face that you're jumping up and down some dude's lap?
So your daughter came off the ride that she was riding with her mom
Yeah.
and told you Mommy's jumping around on some
dude's lap.
Some dude's lap?
You know, after the old lady told me. The lady told me your
No,
name.
Your Honor, my name? There's a bunch of girls named Angela. Come on now.
I'm trying to
Come on, there's a lot of people named Angela.
Oh, yeah,
It can't be me.
Yeah.
on the ride at that time with their 7-year-old child. No,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to understand, Mr. Nicholas, is who
Your
are
Honor.
all these people that just feel the need to tell you about your
Yeah,
wife
but-
all the time?
You know, I didn't close it myself. I don't know I don't know if everybody wants trying to back us up or what. I don't know.
All right, any other thing you'd like to
Yeah,
let
the
the
pizza
court
joint.
know about your wife's infidelities?
Yeah. For example, the pizza joint I used to work at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my manager. She was having an affair with my manager. So tell me that.
Oh,
Well,
yes. I'm being honest with you. Yes, I did have an affair. On top of that, every time I try to talk to you, you're just
'cause
not there for me.
Yeah, just because he's been buying you diapers, all that. On that.
Diapers? Yeah, every time I ask you, you just take off. You spend your money on something else. Come on now.
So she asks you for money for the diapers for the baby.
Yes, ma'am.
You say you give it to her.
no,
You say he does not.
that's what you're doing.
And then
Yeah, because I'm stressed
you
out because of
ask
you.
his coworker to get you some diapers.
And I need someone to talk to, and he was there to comfort me. He's
And
not.
you sleep with him too. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How did you find out that she had slept with the coworker that got the diapers?
She told me she left her panties there.
I did not leave panties there.
What?
No.
No, you told me you left your panties there.
Oh my
Would
God.
you know the panties were missing? I'm not
No,
understanding.
she
it.
told me
You
straight
just
up. Oh, I
told-
left my panties there.
I never said that. Excuse me. You know,
She did a snap
No.
too?
No, I didn't take no snap.
No, I
No.
just put that in now. No, don't worry about that.
Miss Nicholas, did you tell him that?
No, I did
No.
not.
How did you figure this out?
First of all, her cell phone.
No, I don't even talk to anybody. I've been with my kids 24/7. Where you been? I know
Working.
you work. I know you work, but the
Working.
time when you're not working.
Time not working? Yeah, I'm with my cousin.
Are you sure your cousin or the other chick?
All right. Do you have an answer to that, Mr. Nicholas?
Can I ask you one question? Is it
Recently-
cheating if I were to go, kick it with another female and just talk to her about my problem? Is that considered
There's
cheating?
emotional cheating too, Mr. Nicholas.
I know I've been with other guys, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
But
know,
what-
I know I messed up in the past. That's the past.
Okay, can you please just explain to me what about the dude you slept with that looks dead on just like me?
Oh, I meant that one.
Oh, it just keeps getting not better.
You
So,
know business.
Mrs. Nicholas, did you sleep with someone that looks just like your husband?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I told you and wrote a letter when you were out of business. Come on
please
now.
tell the court why.
Why did you do that? Yeah, tell me.
Why? I'm
serious.
sorry. It just looked like you.
Oh,
I mess with him, but it just looked like you're always thinking about you most of the time. Come on now.
I mean, what other reason do I need?
The reason I'm here, I want to do the DNA and prove him wrong, because I'm getting tired of hearing him saying that, oh, they're not my kids, they're not my kids. Come on. They just look like you.
But so does the other guy you slept with.
Sorry.
Do you understand why he potentially, maybe, could have some doubt? Do you understand?
Yeah, because I cheated on him, but
Hey,
all
but
the time when I
the
was
kids
cheating,
don't look like me though.
they look like me, that's why. Come on now.
No, there's got to be a part of it where the kids got to look like me.
Yeah, they do now.
What I want to know is, how did it come to this in this marriage? Ms. Nicholas, explain to me, why are you going outside of your marriage, trying to find someone that looks like your husband to have sex with?
Because I'm tired of he treats me like at home.
Let's use better language in
Sorry.
the court.
He called me names. I know I messed up.
I called you names because you deserve it.
No, I've been with other guys, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Mr. Nicholas, didn't you say in high school she had a bad reputation and yet you still married her?
Yeah, because you know why? It's not. I married her because, I was a nerd. I'll tell you that. I was fat, little chubby little kid. You know what I mean? I was probably the rebound.
You're not the rebound.
Ms. Nicholas, I gotta ask you, how many affairs have you had? Ms. Nicholas, I gotta ask you, how many affairs have you had?
How many affairs? When I was with him?
When was the last one? Yes.
The last time was
many?
his business trip.
Huh?
I mean, I said roll lady and told you the truth. Excuse me.
How many? How many times?
How many times?
How many times have you had sex?
How many times? Less than 10 different guys.
While we're still married. While we're still married.
But I mean, some of them, I don't sleep with them. Yeah, I kiss them.
Yeah.
Is that cheating? Kissing is cheating?
Read,
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
read the Bible.
Yes, let me make that ruling right now. Yes, it is.
Is it
Ms.
cheating?
Nicholas,
Your Honor, he's been at this girl's house for 2-3 nights, and I'm
Yeah.
trying calling him,
I'll
and
prove
he
you.
never picks up.
you staying at another woman's house?
Pretty much, yeah.
See?
You all obviously never heard the phrase "two wrongs don't make a right."
Yeah,
have
that's,
you?
you know, that's
Whoa!
2 wrongs don't make a right. I know that, but the thing is, I gotta hear from another woman's perspective. What am I supposed to do? I can't just go talk to another guy, because if I were to talk to another guy, he's gonna be like, oh, Slick Rick, and come in and try to take my woman. You know what I mean? He's gonna be like, okay, that's your problems. All right.
Mr. Nicholas, you know as a man you've gotten some things wrong.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
If you apologize,
And
we won't fight every single day like we at home. Just drop everything and start new.
How am I
like
gonna-
a normal
how-
couple.
Yeah, dude, after all the stuff
You
you did
both
to me, I
have
can't.
tears in your eyes right now.
I can't sleep. I haven't slept for days just because I'm stressing about you.
Sleep, yeah, no wonder you just keep on waking me up every time. I'm always with you 24/7. What? Okay, listen, Your Honor. He's accusing me that I'm cheating with another person, sneaking around at night, and half the time he's been awake and I'm always with him.
Sounds
That's
like
why-
to me that both of you are accusing the other one of doing a lot of things,
Yeah.
but the problem is that both
But,
of
Your
you
Honor-
are doing the
No,
other
Your Honor,
things.
Your Honor.
But at the end of the day, I'm looking at Mr. Nicholas right now, and I see a man that's standing here emotional still over his wife. So I see love. Despite all of this dysfunction, I see love. And what the court is trying to understand is we've got children here now that I'm sure love the both of you. And I'm trying to get down to the bottom of not just whether or not Mr. Nicholas is their father, but why you two can't seem to love each other appropriately when you obviously do love each other.
Yeah, I do love him.
Yeah, I do love him.
I just want everything to work out, all right? I want to be a happy family with white picket fence in front of our house. That's all I want. I'm tired of being hurt. All right,
I'm sorry
tired.
too. I'm sorry. That was the
No,
past.
that's-
Can you just let go of the past and start new for once? Like,
Nah, I'm sorry. It's gonna be done.
it's gonna be done.
It's done. I'm tired of being hurt.
Miss Nicholas, what would you like to say to your husband?
I love him a lot, but there's time I really do want to get out of the house because he's always just argue. I want to stop
I'm
the
not
arguing.
controlling. I never control you.
You never control me?
No.
Really?
I let you go. I let you go out with your mom.
No, you don't. That's so lie.
Oh no, don't.
We have the results here today, but I need some information before we get to the results. These results pertain to 2 beautiful children. You see them? Aren't they worth more than the tit for tat that you all do all day long?
Yeah.
Look at them. I believe they are worth the effort.
Come on now, tell me he don't look like me.
He does look like you. Come on.
Yeah, just because we got both ponytails, that doesn't mean anything.
What do you want from your marriage and your family?
I want him to stop calling me names for once and just be like a normal couple and just be there for the kids, not just say, oh, they're not my kids. I'm tired of hearing that. I hear that almost every single day.
And he wants you to stop cheating. Can you do that?
Yeah, I told him I stopped cheating. When my son was born, I said, I'm gonna stop everything. I'm gonna tell you the truth from now on, that day. I've been telling you the truth every single day.
All right, I think it's time for the results. Jerome, do you have the
Yes, I do. Here you go.
envelope? Thank you. When it comes to 4-year-old Naomi Nicholas,
Here we go.
Mr. Nicholas, I know she's been the apple of your eye. You love that little girl. It has been determined that you are her father.
I told you so. Get the lunch paid up, man. I told you so. I be telling
Yeah, that's more.
Are you ready for the next result?
Yes, ma'am.
How about this? If the result's true, I'm gonna get your 16 diamond ring back. How about that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
So, with that said, Jerome.
Here you go, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. As it relates to 1-year-old Nathaniel Nicholas, it has been determined, Mr. Nicholas, that you are his father.
Exactly. I told you from the beginning. God. I told you.
How do you feel, Mr. Nicholas?
Relieved. Really relieved. I'm super happy. I'm gonna be the respectful father that they need.
Good. Miss Nicholas, you're very emotional right now. What do you feel?
I'm relieved. I've been telling him this is his kids, but every single day he said, "Oh, they're not my kids. They don't look like me." Come on now.
I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry.
Can you accept his apology? Can you understand, honestly,
Please,
as a woman, why this man would have some doubt? Everybody in here gets it. Do you? No, let's keep it real. Do you?
Yeah, I messed up.
Because the only way to move forward and change your past behavior is to realize and own what you've done wrong. Now, y'all done got it all wrong, both of you. But you've got 3 incredible reasons why you should try to get it right. Now, there are a lot of people that come before me where I go, I love it, I love it. Yes.
Okay.
This is what this courtroom is all
I gotta look up to him.
about. That's all right. That's wonderful to see. You all have been through it. You've done pretty much everything you guys can do to one another, but I still see love.
I just want to settle
And
down.
as long as there's love, there's hope. And all it takes is for you both to decide that you want to be the kind of people that can love and connect and have a family, and both of you want the same things. Just make it happen. It's a choice. Do it for those children. They are worth it. I want you to raise a beautiful family and live the lives you want to live. Good luck to you both. Court is adjourned.